how great He is, how He is wonderful, and what He does for us. And I know that each and every one of us know personally that God has done many great things for us. And if you just took the time to just count the blessings, there would be multiple blessings. And I'm glad to be here, not because it's Easter. Last I heard there was 52 weeks in a year. And each week has a first day. So that's 52 first days. We usually have 2 services. That would be 104 opportunities on a first day. And so one day or another doesn't mean any more to God. And it doesn't mean any more to me. It means everything to come and worship God on whatever day God has blessed me with. And so we come together on this first day to give God the praise and the honor and the glory forever. Amen. So we choose a text today. And I want to thank our visitors. We're glad to have you. And we hope that you enjoy yourself, but better up, I hope that you have an experience that will make you want to return and be with us for worship service. But turn with me, because I know we have a timekeeper. I have several. Several, and they don't have a glorious job to try to keep me on time. And I don't always listen to them. But I still appreciate them anyway. So turn to Matthew chapter 28, verses 1 through 10. That's the text for us today. And it is the culminating chapter of Matthew that begins with the returning to the tomb to see Jesus. And Jesus is not there. The chapter ends with Jesus stating that He has all power given unto Him in heaven and earth. In verse number 18. And then He sends them out. But we want to be concerned about verses 1 through 10. There it says, in the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. And behold, there was a great earthquake. For the angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone from the door, and then sat upon it. His countenance was like lightning, and his raiment white as snow. And for fear of him, the keeper did shake, and became as dead men. The angel answered and said unto the women, fear ye not, for I know that you seek Jesus, which was crucified. He is not here, for He is risen. And He said, come see the place where the Lord lay. And then He said, go quickly, tell His disciples that He is risen from the dead. And behold, He goeth before you into Galilee. There shall you see Him. Lo, I have told you. And they departed quickly from the sepulchre with fear and great joy, and did run to bring his disciples the word. And as they went to tell his disciples, behold, Jesus met them, and saying, all hail, and they came and held him by the feet, and worshipped him. Then said Jesus unto them, be not afraid. Go tell my brethren that they go into Galilee, and there shall they see me. In this 10 verses, 6 things happened. The first verse, the faithful servants gathered to go and to wash and anoint the body of Jesus. But there was a frantic scene on earth with the earth quaking and all that transpired. An angel descended and sat on the stone of the door. And an angel had a light that was so bright around him that in verse 4, the men that were keeping the sepulchre became as dead men. Didn't say they died, but they were froze in place by what they had witnessed there that day. Then the angel, talking to those believers, he said, you're looking for Jesus, but he ain't here. He gone. But if you don't believe me, come take a look at where he laid. That was for their benefit, not his benefit. Sometimes believers need to be proven to that Jesus and God exist or existed. So they needed some proving. Come see where he lay. Now once they had got it confirmed that he was gone, he said, now you go and tell his disciples that he has risen from the dead. And then when they went out, they ran across Jesus. And he stopped them. And then they fell at his feet and they held on, worshiped him. And he then told them, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Why? They were afraid because they saw him die. They were afraid because now he was alive. Maybe. They were afraid because perhaps he was a walking mirage or a ghost or whatever you want to call it. But he said, don't be afraid of me. And go and tell my brethren in Galilee. To go to Galilee, and there they will see me. Well, sure does surprise me when we see here that quote unquote Easter is supposed to be about the risen Christ. But somehow, unbeknownst to me, bunny rabbit, eggs, chocolate have taken the place of the slain Christ. I looked in Google Images just to say, I looked up Easter. And I saw picture after picture of Easter eggs, bunny rabbits. And I was thinking to myself, is there anything about Christ? I wasn't looking in the right place. But that's what we think about. I was curious to wonder why individuals are not so more religious in their worship and reverence than they are to Easter egg hunts, candy eggs and the like. retailers of any sort. But I come to shed light on a monumental sacrifice that Easter represents. Long before bunnies and bonnets and other attire, a man gave his life for humanity, so that humanity, with all of its frailties, inconsistencies, could have an opportunity for eternal salvation. So I'm hoping today that maybe we can at least answer the question, what does Easter mean to me? Perhaps lost in society is Easter and its power, its ultimate sacrifice of Christ, who gave his life for the whole world. The powerful ability of God, who raised Jesus from the dead. The greatest demonstration to mankind, as God brought his whole plan to fruition. Mankind's greatest witness of God's awesomeness happened on Easter. Unfortunately, Easter is not connected. I'm sorry. It is not connected with bunnies and candy or bonnets. It is a word found wrapped up in the concept of the resurrection of Christ. When they went to see Jesus at the sepulchre, the angel told the ladies there, he's not here. Why? He has risen. Come see where he lives. Why is resurrection so important? Resurrection is important because it ended the conundrum of offering bulls and goats for sacrifice. It's important because it demonstrated God's power over all humanity as well as Satan himself. It covered the world for their sins and transgressions. Resurrection offered hope to a world of hopelessness. It was not the end of all things, but it was just the beginning. Resurrection was the fulfillment of God's promise. Resurrection was the ultimate sacrifice and redemptive act for mankind. So my sermon title, and I'm hearing quick now. I'm hearing quick, brothers. My sermon title, Jesus from scapegoat to the G-O-A-T. From scapegoat to the G-O-A-T. See, from the text, the 28th chapter, these events covers the visit to the tomb. The angels was there, and they were looking for Jesus. But in verse number 6, we've already said it once, he's not here. And they leave the area to encounter Jesus. Told him to go and tell his disciples. It was on that day, on that Sunday, that we earned, or we began to have hope. We began to have an opportunity on that Sunday. When God, from his heavenly position, reached down into the earthly tomb and shook Jesus and raised him from the dead. That's when we began to have hope. I will come today to say the Resurrection Sunday is not just today. And anybody who just thinks it's today is absolutely wrong. But Resurrection Sunday is every do in remembrance of him. When? Not just on Resurrection Sunday, but every Sunday that we meet. We must honor his death, his burial, and his resurrection. Jesus, the scapegoat to the GOAT. That's what I'm trying to talk about. You're not trying to help me today. I gotta help myself. Yes, that's what we're trying to talk about today. It's time. It is time to worship God. It's time. It is time to worship Christ. It's time to come to where Jesus is and meet him here. It's time to communicate with God. It's time to remember his sacrifice. When the church gathers week by week on Sunday, the Lord's Day for worship, we're not talking about Saturday worship. We're not talking about Friday gatherings or Wednesday night. We're talking about Sunday. We come to celebrate and to commemorate the resurrection of the Lord Jesus Christ. All because of the empty tomb. When they came to look for him, he wasn't there. He wasn't at the 7-Eleven or at the grocery store. He wasn't at the ball game. He wasn't out of pocket just anywhere. He wasn't there because God had risen him from the dead. Every Sunday is a celebration of an empty tomb. A celebration Jesus is alive. A celebration of hope. Jesus gives us hope. We got hope for the here and the now. We got hope for the hereafter. And don't get the idea that the hope I'm talking about is I hope so kind of hope. But I'm talking about the no so kind of hope. I know that Jesus lives. Paul said, I know that my Redeemer lives. And I'm telling you, I know that Jesus is alive. And I'm telling you, it's not that I'm hoping or praying, but I know that Jesus is alive. The hope of forgiveness, the hope of peace, the hope of assurance, the hope of heaven. And that hope is centered in the person of Jesus Christ. You know, when you go to the Old Testament, King David testifies about the hope that's in God. In Psalms 39, verse 7, it says, my hope is in you. Psalms, division 71, verse 5, for you are my what? Oh, who? Oh, Lord God, you are my trust from my youth. With my hope in the resurrected Jesus, we can make it. We can make it. I don't know any sadder words in the English language than hopeless. And without Jesus, we're hopeless. Without Jesus, we are nothing. I don't care how many people say that you're somebody. If you don't have Christ, you are nothing. Absolutely nothing. Amen. But Jesus Christ was the scapegoat. He was a scapegoat. A scapegoat. The scapegoat was a symbol of Satan in the Old Testament. The scapegoat was not killed though. Just as the spirit, Satan couldn't be killed. But instead all of the guilt of the people was symbolically placed on the head of the scapegoat. And then that scapegoat was led out into the wilderness and released according to Leviticus 16, 21 to 22. You see, the scapegoat was part of the sin offered on the Day of Atonement. In Leviticus 6:5, he had two goats, two male goats, and one ram for a burnt offering. He took the two goats present him to the Lord at the door of the tent or the tabernacle of the meeting place. The scapegoat, he was sent to the wilderness by the hands of a fit person. Leviticus 16:21, the Aaron laid hands on the head of the live goat and confessed over all of the iniquities of the sons of Israel. And they were led to a man who stands in readiness. If you keep reading that, it's not up on the board. He stood in readiness. And they took him out and released him into the wilderness. The scapegoat communicated uncleanness. The man that led him out to the wilderness, before he could come back to camp, he had to wash and bathe himself. Because he could not come back in having touched the goat full of the sins. And then the priest that placed his hand on the goat's head and put the sins on him, he had to go and get washed before he could go and make atonement for his own self. There was God didn't have any respect then or now for sinful humanity. See, the scapegoat, he chose them by lots. He had two goats. Which one are you going to choose? Chose by lots. Now, Jesus is the scapegoat. He is the type used for that because God placed the sins of humanity on him. In a lot of ways, he became both goats. The one that was offered and the one that bared the sins. Because God put our sin on Jesus. And then he killed him for the sacrifice for the sins. 2 Corinthians 5:14. I like this one. For the love of what? Christ. Does what? Strengthen us. Because we thus judge that if one died for all, then we were dead. Jesus died for us. Brother Sterling, 1 Corinthians 15:3.
Christ died for our sins.
According to what?
According to the scripture.
Romans 5:6, what does it say?
For when they were yet without strength.
When we were yet without strength.
In due time. Christ died for the ungodly.
He had to die. He was the scapegoat and the sacrificial lamb. It was John the Baptist that said, here comes what? Here comes the Lamb of who? God that would do what? Take away the sins of the world. That's what I'm talking about. He was the scapegoat. He was the scapegoat. Christ bared our sins. They were imputed on him, our nastiness, our filthiness, our neglect, our wrongdoing. And while he did this for us, we can now be looked upon as sinless. In a legal sense. Christ was our substitute for our sins. Isaiah 53:12 is on the board. You can read it.
All we like sheep have gone astray.
No, 52:12. I put it up there wrong, brother.
Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoils with the strong.
Isaiah 53. We might want to read that for our community. So I just love that. But here it says, divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong. Read.
Because he hath poured out his soul into the death.
His soul unto death.
And he was numbered with the transgressors.
Why was this happening to him? He was numbered with the transgressors and what?
And he bare the sins of many.
This is the key. He bare the sins of many.
And made intercession for the transgressors.
That's what he was doing. That's why he was the scapegoat. That's why. Then go to Isaiah 53:6.
All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way. And the Lord hath laid on him the iniquities of us all.
My God laid on him the iniquity of us all. Me and you, and you and you, and you and you, and you and you, and you and you. Don't forget you, and everybody. In the Bible, God had raised some people from the dead. You know, he wasn't the first person to be raised from the dead. 1 Kings 17, 17 through 24, he raised the son of the widow of Zarephath back again through the prophet Elijah. In 2 Kings 4, 1 through 37, you hear how God raised the dead son of the Shunammite woman back to life again through another prophet named Elisha. In 2 Kings 13, 14 to 21, we see how God raised a dead man back to life again when they cast him in the tomb of the prophet Elijah. And when he touched the bones of the prophet Elisha, he was miraculously brought back to life. Matthew 9, 18 through 25, and Mark 5, 21 through 42, Jesus Christ raised the daughter of Jairus back to life again. Luke 7 and verse 15, we see how Jesus raised the dead son of the widow of Nain back to life again. In John 11, verse 142, it was a great friend Lazarus who had died, and Jesus came and he raised him back to life once again. When Jesus died on the cross of Calvary and God shook the foundations of the world and raised Jesus after his resurrection, all of the faithful rose up from the grave, went into the city, and folk began to see them. That's what I'm talking about. It wasn't the first time that Jesus was raised from the dead, or that anybody was raised from the dead. Not Jesus, but anybody. In Acts 9, 36 to 30, 42, Paul raised a dead woman whose name was Dorcas back to life again. Well, yet, what makes Jesus so great? He's the greatest resurrection of all time. Our Jesus, our Lord, was raised back to life again, never to die. All of these other folk had to die again. Jesus didn't have to die. As a matter of fact, the last time they saw Jesus, they saw his feet as he was raising up. He said, why look you up? The way he's going is the way he's coming back again. He was raised never to die again. That makes him the greatest of all time. Jesus, the resurrection, greatest of all time. And because everyone that God raised, they're dead and they had to die again. And guess what? They still waiting. Jesus had a different story in Revelation 1:18. What does it say? Who's talking? Revelation 1:18 down on the board? Who's doing the Lord, Jesus Christ said,
I am he that was dead.
I am he. Thank you, sir. I am he that liveth and was what? Dead. And behold what? I'm alive forevermore. Amen. And I have the keys of hell and of death. How do you get the keys of hell and death? Because they've been there. He's been there. He's been there. Hell and Hades in the ground. And he's now alive. He's been dead. So he has the key to both. That's Jesus. Jesus is alive forevermore. Jesus is alive forevermore. He did not. He will not. And he cannot die anymore. Because he has power now over death and hell. That's why he said in Matthew 28:18. And Jesus came and said to them, saying what?
All power.
All power has been given to me in heaven and earth. That's the keys of heaven and hell and death and all. Everything is under my power, my grip. And that's why the Bible says in Colossians 1:18, what does it say? Jesus Christ is the what? First fruits of the dead. And we know fruits are alive. Most of them, until we pick them and eat them up. Because Jesus is the first and only person in the Bible who died and was raised from the dead and will die no more. Amen. When he died, he fulfilled his own prophecy. In Psalm 16:10, it says, "For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thy Holy One to see corruption." And we understand, typically, I read, typically, in 4 days, a body left untended will begin to smell and decompose. Within 4 days. God raised Jesus on the 3rd day. Prior to corruption. Prior to decomposition. Prior to filthy, maggot-ridden flesh. That's when God raised him from the dead. The 3rd day, he raised him from the dead. He had no intention of leaving him there to rot in the grave. That was the prophecy and that was the fulfillment. Amen. Prophesied of his death and resurrection in the dead, the testament of the disciples. He was not going to suffer, he was going to suffer. He told the disciples, I got to go. In Matthew 16, verse 21. I got to go. Now I know that's on the board. I might have messed up the others.
From then on, Jesus began to tell his disciples.
Yeah, he didn't keep it from them. He began to tell them. What? I know he gave me the signal. Yes.
That it was necessary for him to go to Jerusalem.
It was necessary to go to Jerusalem.
And that he would suffer many terrible things at the hand of the elders and leading priests.
That's what's going to happen.
And the teachers of the religious law. He would be killed.
Yes.
But on the 3rd day.
On the 4th day.
But on the 3rd
on the 15th day.
But on the 3rd
after a week and a half.
But on the 3rd day.
6 months later.
The 3rd day.
On the 3rd day.
He would be raised from the dead.
That's what he said. On the 3rd day, I will be raised from the dead. You know, with resurrection, you got suffering, you got murder, and you got raising from the dead.
Amen.
My God, my God. All I know is that Jesus said in John 2:19 that he destroyed this temple. In 3 days, I'll raise it up. Never made it a secret. Even though they did not understand. They said, how can he do it? But you know what? I want to go to the next slide. I want to go to the next slide. John 10:17-18. Jesus said this. This is the reason he was able to fulfill his prophecy concerning death and resurrection, because he was willing to do it. Read. Is that on the board?
Therefore, does my Father love me, because I lay down my life, that I may take it again. No man take it from me, but I lay it down myself.
Yeah, you gotta be home.
I have power to lay it down, I have power to take it again. This command have I received of my Father.
Okay, I guess I made a lot of mistakes on this PowerPoint. That's not the next one. On my notes anyway. Okay, he said, I have the power to lay it down, and I have the power to take it up again. No man taketh it from me. That's the command I received from my Father. Jesus Christ is more than just the Son of God. He is God in human flesh. He's the second person in the triune Godhead. And he is the Son of the living God. I'm going to just flip on down here and try to finish this. Now, I don't know if you have this on the board. It should be entitled Transition and Role Reversal. If not, go to Philippians 2, verse 5. We'll stop there. Philippians 2, verse 5. I don't know what happened to this thing. We're not even going to deal with it now. I'm going to leave that alone. But there was a transition. Philippians 2, verse number 5 says, let
It's mind in you, which also in Christ Jesus.
Yes, that mindset. Read.
Who being in the form of God.
Who being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God. Made himself of no reputation. The servant.
That was made
In the likeness of man.
and being found in the fashion.
He humbled.
He humbled himself.
That's the part. He humbled himself. Being found in fashion like a man, he to be a man and even to die. Then God did what?
Also has
Highly exalted him and given him a name above every name, that in the name of Jesus, every knee shall bow, of things in heaven, things in earth, and things under the earth, and every tongue shall confess. You may not confess him now. You may be playing Easter Bunny and chocolate candy, and you may not even understand that he is risen. But one day you're going to have to recognize that Jesus Christ is Lord. For the glory of God the Father. That's what we're going to do one day. One day. We're going to have to recognize Jesus for what and who he is. If you're looking for Jesus, don't look in the tomb. He's not there. Don't look in the sepulcher. He's not there. You look up into heaven, because that's where he's at, on the right hand of God, making intercessions for us still, until we get ready to meet him. That's it. I had to get, that's it. God help us all. On this day, this Sunday, this Resurrection Sunday, all Sundays, but especially today, because that's why we're here today. If you're not right with God, this is the time to get right with God. Repent of your sins and ask God to forgive you, so that you can be able to see God in peace. This is the time to make it right with God. If you sin, Jesus has already become the proverbial scapegoat for all of our sins. And now he's the greatest of all time, because he never died again. And guess what? We're not still sacrificing bulls and goats and releasing animals into the wild, because we can be saved from our sins. All we got to do is repent. Acts 17 and 30, repent. At the time of this sickness, God winked up and now command all men everywhere to what? Repent. Ask God to forgive you. Ask a brother to pray for you in James 5:16. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous person availeth much. If you're not a member of the Church of Christ, it was Jesus and God that got together and brought the plan together. And Jesus in Matthew 16:18 said, I'm going to build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And then on the day of Pentecost, it was Peter that stood up and preached the first gospel sermon, preaching to those Jews that were assembled there. And he said, hey, if you understand what you have done, now you need to get your life right. They said in Acts 2, verse 37, men and brethren, what shall I do? Let me tell you this. People go everywhere they want to go. Party. And you know why? It's everywhere. On Facebook, this, that, and the other. But they are neglecting the most important thing in their life, and that's worshiping God on Sundays, and worshiping God and praising him, and then separating yourself from the world and being what the God wants. Guess what? Jesus didn't shirk from his responsibility. He didn't shirk. When they questioned him right there before Pilate, he didn't say nothing. He knew when to be quiet, and he knew when to let actions speak louder than words. He died. He died. He died. On that day he died, all kinds of things. The earthquake, God ripped the curtain from top to bottom, and everything happened. You know what? The centurion soldier, right there, had been beating them and casting lots and doing everything else. That individual went from ignorance to conversion. He said, sure, this was. So I guess if I'd have seen some of that too, shaking around on the roller, I'd have said, amen. I got right with that brother and said, amen. Something special happened. So let's get our lives right today. Baptism, key. Hear, believe, repent, confess, be baptized for the remission of your sins. In Acts, there we go, 2:38, Romans 6, 3, 4. I just love it. I'm just glad he's alive. We're going to sing, he's the one. He's the only one. I'm telling you right now, don't let anybody stop you from getting your life right today.